This is the view of Puget Sound that we got to enjoy while we were upgrading the rooftop site here. Isn't that amazing? So nice. So, we got the protective barriers up and created a temporary home for each of the 3 sets of the old antennas while we built out the new ones. Now, since the new antennas are a lot heavier than the old ones, we had to make sure they had enough support. So we opened up the roof and set some sturdy beams on top of the building's load-bearing walls. Then we sealed up the roof and built a steel frame for each of the 3 antenna locations, securing the frames with heavy bolts that are glued in. And here's how that winds up. And on top of each frame, we assembled an enclosure that will hide the antennas and cabling. These enclosures are made out of FRP, fiberglass reinforced plastic, since that doesn't interfere with the cell signals. We got all the different pieces bolted together. Then inside each one, we added steel crossbars to support the pipes that would become the homes for all of the new antennas. Then Legacy brought in our friends at Barnhart Crane, and up came 3 big spools with the hybrid cables, each one ready to carry both fiber and power to one of the sectors. These cables will connect the new gear on the roof with the control center on the side of the building down on the ground. So Jordan had to descend down the side of the building to remove the covers on the old cables and make way for the new ones. These new cables each have a breakout box on the antenna end affectionately known as a Medusa head. Then it was time to mount the new antennas. We get the mounting hardware attached and we hoist them up and pull them in and get each of them bolted into place. Then we run all the jumpers from each Medusa head over to the antennas and get them hooked up, making sure everything is solidly connected and labeled properly. So here's a look inside each of the 3 enclosures. There are 2 antennas in each, covering different frequency ranges, and both the height and the angle of each antenna are precisely specified, so we make sure to get them all locked into place. Meanwhile, down in the shelter, Russ is making all the many connections necessary to get the new gear up and running. And after the cutover, then we can start pulling out all the old stuff and putting on the finishing touches like painting the enclosures and buttoning up the cable trays and making sure all the wiring is nicely labeled and bundled. So, now there's 1 new sector on the left side of the roof and 2 new sectors on the right side and 1 sweet view in between. Score another one for Team Legacy.